Jon Jones gives major update. Jon Jones isn't retired after all. In June, Jones vacated his heavyweight title, but a few weeks later, he changed his mind when he heard about a UFC event at the White House in 2026. Jones likely won't fight there according to Dana White, but the former champ told reporters at the MTV VMAs that he's back in the testing pool and training again.
I want to take what I find to be super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it.
The good news is Dana White's no doesn't always last forever. He's changed his mind plenty of times before. So while Jones isn't guaranteed a fight right now, history shows there's always a chance. That's why Jones might feel confident he's not just training for nothing. Chael Sonnen doesn't get what Jones is doing. If Jones truly wants to come back, Sonnen asks why not just fight Tom Aspinall in the first place? And if Jones refuses that matchup, then who exactly is he planning to face?
Came out here to Oregon and we saw him in the gym. There'd be a line and people would want autographs and it would be a really big deal. And I just have a hard time. By the way, it gets a little confusing if Jon says that he's back and he was never injured, he was never ill. He just didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. That's the part to me that's a little bit weird. Like he's playing this as though that retirement never happened.
Even if a showdown with his rival probably won't happen, Jones has officially re-entered the drug testing pool. That move signals he's serious, and it at least keeps the door open for a possible return to the octagon in the near future. Is Jon Jones hopping for Cyril Gane to beat Tom Aspinall at UFC 321? Ilia Topuria versus Terence Crawford beef. Moving on, Ilia Topuria stirred things up on Twitter, claiming he'd be a nightmare matchup for Terence Crawford in boxing. Crawford is one of the world's best boxers, but Ilia thinks that his own heavy hands would make the difference if they ever fought. I won't talk about what would happen between me and Crawford in an octagon. I'll talk about what would happen in a ring. I put him to sleep in the first contact. Topuria's tweets were sparked by Crawford snubbing him. Crawford had called a former UFC champ the best boxer in the UFC, leaving Topuria out, which led him to fire back with his bold claims about being a tough matchup.
My guy, what's his name?
You seen Topuria's? Cody Garbrandt?
Yeah, he the best UFC boxer.
Have you seen Topuria? Have you seen his fights recently?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Cody got them hands.
Cody's not, like, I'm not shitting on him, but he's not on the...
But I'm saying, we talking about straight boxing.
Straight boxing?
Yeah, we ain't talking about nothing else. We talking about straight boxing skills. I just think Cody got the best boxing skills.
Topuria is certainly ambitious, but many aren't buying his hype. Journalist Luke Thomas, for example, shared his take on what would likely happen if Topuria actually stepped into the ring with Crawford.
But Crawford would abuse Topuria.
It looks like Topuria is eyeing a Conor McGregor-style journey, dominating 2 UFC divisions, bagging multiple belts, trying his hand at boxing, raking in millions, and if everything goes perfectly, even dreaming of one day running for president of Georgia or Spain. Because that is what McGregor is up to these days. He is campaigning to become the president of Ireland, but some think it's just a gimmick. Conor McGregor's political campaigning called a gimmick. McGregor seems serious about a presidential path, tweeting campaign-style messages, giving speeches like a leader, and even talking to big names like Elon Musk for support. But Chael Sonnen isn't a fan of his political ambitions.
I don't think it was ever meant to be serious. But there is a very different Conor that is now giving presidential talks. And whether he's worked himself into a shoot or he's just a master of the gimmick, here we are. There's no politician that you've ever seen on TV that is that politician. It's a performance. There's nobody on TV that is being themselves. Not one single person you've ever seen, all the way down to your local weatherman. They're all playing a character.
That said, Chael Sonnen does acknowledge that McGregor is making some smart moves and gives him credit where it's due, especially for delivering a speech outside the Irish Parliament.
I just felt something was interesting about it. And when he's giving these talks, he is very serious. He has a passion in his voice. He has a passion in his eyes. You can tell that he's shooting. What we just simply don't know is, was that the work? And he got so into character
but he's not done a half-bad job.
While Conor McGregor is undeniably ambitious, most people familiar with Ireland's political system agree that his goal of becoming president is extremely unlikely. But then again, the double champ does whatever he wants. Another person who does and says whatever he wants is Sean Strickland, whose recent comments about Caio Borralho have raised eyebrows. Sean Strickland calls Caio Borralho an idiot. Sean Strickland thinks Caio Borralho wasn't at his best in his UFC Paris fight, where he lost to Nassourdine Imavov because of back-to-back weight cuts. Strickland recently trained with Borralho and says the Brazilian was juggling two big tasks, preparing for his fight against Nassourdine Imavov and being the backup fighter for the UFC 319 main event between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis. Borralho made weight successfully for that backup role, but it wasn't needed since Chimaev and du Plessis both made it to fight night. Strickland believes that cutting weight twice in a span of a month hurt Borralho's training and affected his performance, contributing to his unanimous decision loss to Imavov. Caio is my buddy, but he's an idiot. He trained with us and was useless. Me, what's wrong with you? Caio, I'm an alternate. So you're giving up 4 weeks of your camp cutting weight twice while having a fight coming up. Whoever told you to do that, please hit him. It was so frustrating I wanted to hit him. I didn't say anything because I wanted to keep his spirits up, but he really took some bad advice from someone. That fight wasn't him. It was missing 4 weeks of training cutting weight twice. Andrew Tate versus Darren Till beef. Former UFC welterweight title challenger Darren Till revealed on the Ariel Helwani show that a potential fight with Andrew Tate, also known as Cobra Tate or Top G, could be in the works. Till, who recently stunned fans with a knockout of former UFC champion Luke Rockhold at the Misfits 22 Ring of Thrones boxing event, discussed the matchup while covering his upcoming plans. While no official deal is confirmed, Till's comments suggest fans could see this high-profile crossover fight in the near future.
That does tell me a little bit about things.
One more thing about Andrew. Is this an active thing that Misfits is trying to get done? Do they want to make this fight happen for you?
Yeah, I think all parties do. Andrew Tate definitely is interested, or he wouldn't have tweeted me back. Misfits are interested. My management are interested. His management's potentially. It's looking like a fight that's going to be made before the end of the year in a great location, and in a obviously he's in my eyes he's probably one of the most famous people on the planet. Certainly the most Googled, well bigger name than Jake Paul and stuff like that. So for me it's huge.
Wow.
It's money. It's money changing. It's life changing with money as well. You fight Andrew Tate, you don't have to think about working again. And obviously, the money's obviously tasty for him as well. So it's definitely I'd say at the moment a 75% made fight.
Darren Till also addressed the controversy surrounding Andrew Tate, acknowledging that Tate is a highly polarizing figure due to ongoing allegations. However, Till made it clear that he doesn't want to dwell on Tate's offering issues and simply wants to test if he's really the top G.
What you could call him, misogynist or something like that, but it's just even his other views. It's all alpha. I'm top G. It's like you are top G, but if you came around me and my friends in Liverpool, we just absolutely terrorise you. You just get told to sit in the corner and shut up, and you'd have to. You'd have to sit in the corner and shut up, or you just get slapped up. You just get slapped up completely, just an open palm slap to the cross of his face, his face. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do against someone like me? Really?
Yeah.
He can fight, but what's he gonna do against me if I turn on him? Like, tell me what he's gonna do.
Tate responded to Till by saying, "Darren, I think you are hilarious. Always enjoyed your antics and humor. Also seen your career and respected you are well liked in my circles. The fight would be great. I understand fighting me would be life-changing money for you, but not for me. But there's no need for name calling. I really don't like all that clowning and being rude, etc. We are both professionals here. I find it rude if that's how you are preparing to get the fight. It won't happen. I am the superstar here, talk nicely and I will reply to your team's desperate messages." Brian Ortega was unconscious for 30 minutes amid rough UFC Shanghai weight cut. Brian Ortega admitted he had a brutal weight cut before his UFC Shanghai fight. Originally set for 145 pounds against Aljamain Sterling, it was switched last minute to a 153-pound catchweight because Ortega couldn't make featherweight. He looked drained on the scales and later lost by decision. On Instagram, Ortega explained just how tough the ordeal was through an Instagram post that said, "I cut weight on Thursday. We hit the first one, we got down to 51. Second one, later on I decided to jump the gun on that one at 12, but we cut from midnight all the way to 8 in the morning, cutting weight the entire time. I realized I had 1.7 to go still. I was confused on how my body wasn't really pouring out the water, why it was just holding it in, but no matter what, we have to get this weight off, so we did. So we went downstairs, ate something, decided to cut more weight, put the plastics on, sweet sweat. I hit 20 minutes on the bike. Once I got off, I went unconscious. I was unconscious for about 30 minutes. During that time they were putting ice on me, they took all my clothes off, they left me in boxers. I woke up in the ER, I ripped everything off, I couldn't really speak, translate to them. If you saw the weigh-ins, you obviously know I looked delirious, and just coming off 30 minutes of being unconscious in the tunnel. Zabit to make a comeback. Speaking of UFC featherweight prospects, Zabit Magomedov is still talented enough to win a UFC world title, but a return to the octagon isn't on the horizon. His longtime friend and teammate, Magomedov, who is preparing to face Sergio Pettis in the PFL Champions Series in Dubai, revealed that while Zabit could potentially dethrone Alexander Volkanovski with just 6 months of dedicated training, he considers the 34-year-old finished. Magom said, "I think if he wanted to, it would take him only half a year to get back in shape. But I don't think he's coming back, I think he's done. I wish, but I just don't see him coming back because it's already been 5 years. He's training, he's in great shape, and he can kill anybody. If he went back to featherweight, he would kill anybody, Alexander Volkanovski or anyone, but I just don't think it's going to happen." Magomedov has spent the past year teasing a comeback through training videos and seminar appearances, yet he has no plans to reverse his retirement. Despite their paths diverging and Zabit moving to Khabib Nurmagomedov team, they remain close, with Magomedov emphasizing that Zabit's talent remains world-class even if his competitive career is over. Ronda Rousey to fight at White House. MMA legend Ronda Rousey has firmly stated she won't take part in any UFC event at former President Donald Trump's White House. UFC CEO Dana White, a Trump ally, had announced a blockbuster event on the South Lawn next June to celebrate the US's 250th anniversary. In a recent Lapsed Fan podcast interview, Rousey, who retired from MMA in 2016, was asked whether she had received an invitation, and made it clear she has no interest in attending. Rousey said, "I'm not fighting at the White House. After Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather being the biggest fight of the year, you never say never, but I ain't fighting at the fucking White House." Questioned whether she would participate if given the chance, Rousey replied, "Even if offered, I got better to do." Rousey's refusal to participate isn't surprising, given her past criticism of Donald Trump. Back in 2015, she openly stated she would not be voting for him, signaling her strong disapproval long before his presidency. Rousey had said, "I just really wouldn't trust the guy with running my country. I don't want a reality TV star to be running my country." Dominic Cruz says UFC rankings are based on money, not merit. Former UFC bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz has criticized the promotion's current ranking system, arguing that it doesn't truly reflect achievement inside the octagon. Widely regarded as one of the greatest bantamweights in UFC history, Cruz retired earlier this year, but continues to offer expert analysis as an ESPN UFC commentator. He joins other legends, including Demetrius Johnson, in questioning how fighters are placed in divisional rankings. Despite past attempts to revamp the system, including a collaboration between UFC CEO Dana White and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, the rankings remain largely unchanged. Cruz insists that, rather than rewarding performance and accomplishments, the current system often fails to operate as a true meritocracy.
How you wrote your contract last. So if I wrote a big contract to fight you, and I renegotiate it at fight number 4, and then they ask me for a favor to fight you on 1 week's notice for a title, I have an opportunity to renegotiate my contract, and I can probably get a good chunk, right? So let's say I negotiate really well and I get up to more money than anybody in the division, and then I lose to you. I'm still making that money.
Yeah. So you're dictating that the rank is based off money, because that's what you just said.
Yeah, because now that they're paying me, you're telling me they're going to give me what I just lost. They're going to give me number 10 now?
Yeah.
But I'm making money to fight for a title.
Gotcha.
They're not going to pay me title money.
$500,000 to fight number 10? Absolutely.
See what I mean? Never. So that's the true ranking, is how much money your contract is written for. Because there's no way the organization...
Do you agree with Dominic Cruz's take? And what are your thoughts on the other stories we covered in today's video? Drop your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.